On March 15, 2025, President Donald Trump made a stunning yet necessary declaration. The United States is at war. With his trademark confidence and resolve, he invoked the Alien Enemies Act of 1798, claiming wartime powers to deport individuals he deems a threat to national security. This move is not just a powerful response to transnational crime but a testament to Trump's unwavering commitment to safeguarding the American people from external dangers. Predictably, however, the left-wing media immediately descended into a state of hysteria, exaggerating and distorting his intentions, turning a rational decision into a supposed threat to democracy. Let's dive deeper into this historic action and why it's exactly what America needs right now. A courageous decision in a time of crisis. In his declaration, President Trump made it clear that America is facing an invasion from foreign criminal gangs, particularly the notorious Aragua from Venezuela. This is not empty rhetoric or hyperbole. In recent years, reports from law enforcement agencies across the United States have documented a significant rise in criminal activities linked to illegal immigrant gangs, from drug trafficking and human smuggling to street violence. Major cities like New York, Chicago, and Los Angeles have seen escalating chaos, while local governments, often controlled by Democrats, appear either powerless or unwilling to confront the issue head-on. Trump, with his far-sighted vision and unmatched decisiveness, recognized that ordinary measures are no longer sufficient to protect the American people. He chose to invoke the Alien Enemies Act, a rare but potent legal tool, to grant himself the authority needed to swiftly deport dangerous individuals from the country. According to him, Aragua is not merely a criminal gang but a hybrid criminal state, backed by the instability of the Venezuelan regime, a nation that has effectively declared war on the United States by allowing these groups to infiltrate our borders. The Alien Enemies Act of 1798, though enacted over 2 centuries ago, remains a valid and relevant legal instrument in today's context. This law allows the president, during wartime or when an invasion from a foreign nation occurs, to detain, restrain, and remove non-citizens from a hostile country. Historically, it has been used during the War of 1812, World War I, and after the Pearl Harbor attack, all moments when America faced genuine threats. Today, Trump argues that the current border crisis is no less an invasion, and he has the right to wield this law to defend the nation. Left-wing media panic, a predictable overreaction. It comes as no surprise that the left-wing media immediately pounced on Trump's decision. From CNN to MSNBC, commentators rushed to label the move illegal, dangerous, and dictatorial. Democratic Senator Chris Murphy, one of the most vocal critics, claimed that invoking the Alien Enemies Act is unlawful and allows Trump to hunt down non-citizens without due process. Freelance journalists and outlets like Midas Touch went even further, warning that this is the first step in Trump's alleged plan to destroy democracy and establish a fascist regime. But let's look at the facts. These criticisms are not grounded in reason or reality, but in panic and personal animosity toward Trump. Throughout his campaign, Trump openly discussed his intent to use the Alien Enemies Act to tackle criminal gangs. He never hid this plan. At rallies, he repeatedly stated, "To expedite the removal of Aragua and other savage gangs, I will invoke the Alien Enemies Act of 1798. This was a promise made to millions of Americans, and now he is delivering on it. So why is the media acting shocked and outraged? The answer is simple. They don't want Trump to succeed. Throughout both of his terms, Trump has faced a relentless smear campaign from left-wing media outlets that cannot accept that he represents the voice of tens of millions of ordinary Americans, people who feel abandoned by the political elite. His invocation of the Alien Enemies Act isn't a secret plot to suppress democracy, but a transparent action to address a real problem facing the nation. Why this is the right move for America? Let's put this into perspective. In recent years, millions of people have crossed the U.S. border illegally, and among them are individuals tied to criminal enterprises. Aragua, with its network of drug trafficking and violence, has become a scourge on communities across America. Existing laws, while containing provisions for deporting criminals, are often bogged down by convoluted legal processes and opposition from human rights groups, frequently funded by leftist billionaires like George Soros. The result? Dangerous individuals remain free to continue harming Americans. Trump understands that in times of crisis, swift and decisive action is essential. The Alien Enemies Act allows him to bypass bureaucratic hurdles and target those he identifies as threats. In this case, members of Trenda Aragua and similar gangs. This isn't an abuse of power, it's the fulfillment of a president's duty to protect the nation. Moreover, Trump's assertion that Venezuela has declared war on the United States through these gangs is not without basis. The Maduro regime in Venezuela has long been accused of tolerating and even aiding criminal organizations to destabilize rival nations, including the U.S. In this context, Trump's claim that he is a wartime president is entirely reasonable. He's not just fighting domestic crime but confronting a geopolitical threat from abroad. The left's absurd opposition. The left-wing media and Democratic politicians have tried to paint a terrifying picture, suggesting Trump will use this authority to deport masses of legal immigrants, tear apart families, and silence dissenters. They cite history, pointing to the internment of Japanese Americans during World War II, and warn that Trump might do the same to Venezuelans, Cubans, or any group he dislikes. But this is a blatant distortion. Trump has made it clear that his target is criminal gangs, not legal immigrants or innocent families. In fact, the Venezuelan community in the U.S., particularly in South Florida, has been one of Trump's most ardent supporter bases throughout his campaigns. Many of them voted for him because they believed he would crack down on crime and protect the American way of life they chose when fleeing dictatorship back home. The left-wing media's claim that Trump is now betraying them is a shameful attempt to fracture the coalition he has built. Consider another recent example, the plan to house migrants at Guantanamo Bay. Last week, the Trump administration tested using the military base to detain illegal immigrants deemed security risks. The left-wing media quickly decried it as an expensive stunt and a sign of fascism. But when the plan was paused due to logistical issues, they continued attacking Trump, claiming he had failed and was now resorting to the Alien Enemies Act as a backup plan. The inconsistency in their arguments is staggering. They criticize Trump no matter what he does, even when he adapts his strategy to reality. Trump, the true defender of democracy. Contrary to what the left-wing media propagates, Donald Trump is not democracy's enemy. He is its protector. By confronting the threat of foreign crime head-on, he is safeguarding the freedom and safety of the American people, the core values on which this democracy was built.